Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jake, and I am here on my channel, The Fasting Nomad, because Nomad is my last name backwards. That's pretty much the only reason, and my family uses it for a lot of things. I'm not going to go into much detail about what. It's top secret. Anyways, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is The Fasting Nomad. I started this channel a couple of days ago, and I just wanted to start putting some content up on it. I've got my microphone hooked up. Hopefully that is, like, I can hear myself loud and clear in here. I just hope that the audio will be able to sync up with my camera. It's on my phone right now. If it doesn't, then that's fine. I'm hoping to give this video a little bit better audio quality, but we'll see. Anyway, so yes, I got into fasting probably a year and a half ago. I've pretty much only done experimenting with it. The biggest thing I've ever done, which I'll talk about in this video, is a 21-day water fast, and it was both the best thing I've ever done and one of the hardest things I've ever done, just in terms of like discipline and like making myself do something and not getting bored with it. I'm very surprised I made it that long. But yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get into all the details, kind of how I got into fasting and what it means to fast. So yeah, so basically I think this is how a lot of people got into fasting in the first place is, there's this YouTuber out there named the Pro Gamer J, and I think he's taken down the video since then, for various reasons, but he made a video where he did a water fast, which is basically just drinking and eating and drinking nothing except for water, like water, and that's it. And he did a thing where he lost a bunch of weight. I think he did it within a month. He lost a ton of weight. I can't remember the exact number. I want to say it's like 25 or 30 pounds, but you can look it up and find it out. I'm sure there's other places you can find the video, re-uploads and all that stuff. But I was very intrigued by this. I'm like, wait a second. So he didn't eat or drink anything for almost a month, and he lost a bunch of weight. And, you know, there's a ton of people in there saying, you can't do that or you'll die. And there's people going, like, this is fake, you know, it's all Photoshop. But he does show video footage of how much he progressed over time. And yeah, I mean, you could do a lot of stuff with that, but it seemed very obvious to me that this was a factual video. And then it actually happened. And, you know, later he came out and said that, yeah, I mean, this was all real. And I totally believe him. And it became easier to see how that was possible when I started researching fasting, because I realized that this could be like a very interesting, like, possible thing. And the whole reason I wanted to get into fasting in the first place was to lose weight. And I'm someone who hates to wait for things. And that's, you know, I know a lot of things in life are just like, too bad, you got to wait for it. But for weight loss in particular, I was like, you know, I really want to, I don't know. There has to be a better way than just losing 2 pounds a week, which is technically what doctors say is the safest way to, safest amount and the quickest you should lose weight, because it could be dangerous. Whatever. I wanted to take everything that I knew about medical advice and anything that I've heard about, like what doctors say you should do for weight loss and all this stuff, and this newly discovered thing in fasting, and kind of just like explore like what are people doing out there that is different than what doctors say you should do. So I began researching fasting, and I came across a ton of different YouTube channels, namely Vegetable Police. Shout out to Casey. He is awesome. I love Vegetable Police. Hopefully we can do a video one day together. I would love that. The Snake Diet, Cole Robinson. I mean, I could make whole videos about Cole Robinson. He is a powerhouse in the fasting arena. He's amassed an entire group of people on Facebook. He has an entire YouTube community. He's almost up to 100,000 subscribers. And he is a huge advocate for fasting. And he, you know, the results of the people, like basically the Facebook group he has on Facebook. Oh yeah, Facebook group on Facebook. Imagine that. It's called Snake Diet Motivation. It's just, you could scroll through it. And if you get accepted into the group, I think you don't have to do much to get accepted. You just join. It's just like pictures after pictures of people starting off on their fasting journey, or progress pictures of how far they've come. And it's really inspiring, and it's really crazy. And this guy's a little bit, this different guy I'm going to talk about here, who I actually watched mostly first. And I'm not sure how much I agree with some of the stuff he says, but I think there's a lot of truth to most of what he says. And it's this guy named Lauren Lockman. And basically what this guy does is he has a fasting camp in Costa Rica, and they basically just water fast the whole time. And, you know, they claim to have cured cancer and cured diabetes and all this stuff. And at first that was very hard for me to believe, until I started seeing a lot of the results that Cole Robinson over at the Snake Diet was getting with his people, and curing things like cancer and crazy things like people with foot tumors that were just like totally disappearing, which is, you know, unheard of. You know, it's like without chemotherapy, without any of that, tumors were shrinking. And then I started getting into doing more research about different types of fasting. So not only is there water fasting, where you drink only water for a certain amount of time, you know, and it can be short term or long term. You know, some people do it for a day, some people do it for 3 days, 5 days a week, a month. It's, you know, there's a bunch of different kinds, but there's water fasting, and then there's dry fasting. And this is the more intense one, and I will do more videos about that eventually, because that has become more interesting to me now that I've tried water fasting. Dry fasting is something I want to explore even more. But basically what dry fasting is no food or water. And this is one you can't go for 21 days. Like, you'll probably definitely die. Cole Robinson himself made it like a week doing that, and he said he was having like spiritual, like hallucinogenic experiences. I don't know if I'd want to take it that far, but short, like 1, 2, 3 day, I think 3 days is the most I've ever been with dry fasting. Periods of time have enormously healthy effects on your body, and I will go into more explanation on dry fasting too. And there's even 2 different types of dry fasting. So there's water fasting, dry fasting, and then with the dry fasting, that is separated into 2, with hard dry fasting and soft dry fasting. And soft dry fasting is when you can come into contact with water, but you can't drink it. So you can take showers, you can brush your teeth, you can wash your hands. And then hard dry fasting, which is the most extreme type, is when you don't even come into contact with water whatsoever. And so your body, which when it's dry fasting acts like a sponge, can't like soak up any of the water or anything like that. It's I could make whole videos about either of these, but basically I've been experimenting with fasting, and a couple of, I don't know, it's been over a year at this point, but I decided to do and just go headlong into it and try a water fast. And I wanted to try it for a really long time, and I wanted to see how much weight I could lose. I wanted to see I should also back up. So put a tack in that for a second. We're going to back up to a completely different portion of my life. I used to live in California. I lived in California for about 8 months, and all of a sudden I unexpectedly got this crazy sickness, and I don't know how to describe it, but I'll do my best. It was like I started peeing brown, like it was like Coke color brown. I went to the hospital. I started getting sicker and sicker, tired, just like I couldn't work. I ended up having to move back to Pennsylvania, where I'm from, you know, originally. And I started to get better, but there was this pain in my side, and I always figured it had, oh, by the way, the doctors couldn't figure out anything about it, or like they did not know what was going on. But of course in my mind I'm thinking like, oh, cancer, like what is it? And I was in a dark place in my mind too. It was really tough time for me. But when I got back to Pennsylvania, I started to feel better. I could work again, but I always had this stabbing pain in my side. And I had that for like a year and a half, probably. So this was probably about a year and a half ago. No, that doesn't make sense. I had the stabbing pain for when I moved back from California up until I started this water fast. Okay. And then here's the interesting thing, because most people, if they don't have any fat to lose, do fasting for the health properties. And what fasting does for you is if you stop spiking your insulin, stop eating, and you have fat stores on your body, your liver glycogen, I believe, gets used up pretty quick, like within 24, 48 hours, much faster if you're dry fasting. And your body starts tapping into your fat stores for fuel, and you go into something called ketosis. And it's that's what the ketogenic diet is based on, all that jazz. But it starts breaking down this process called autophagy takes place, where it starts breaking down all your bad cells, any sick parts of your body, and starts converting those to fuel, starts getting rid of anything bad or gross in your body, regenerates your whole body, basically turns your entire body, all the cells, into like little furnaces, and just cleans house, and it's a gross process. It's a painful process. It's you can feel pretty nasty during it when your body's expelling all the different toxins and stuff. But there's a lot of science, not a lot of tests, like group tests or anything with a lot of data, but there's stuff out there that has been collected. Dr. Jason Fung I think that's his name, Dr. Jason Fung. He's pretty much the leader in, I think it's autophagy. I can't remember. I have to do my research, but I think he won the Nobel Peace Prize or something like that for autophagy. And figuring out that the body uses, bad stuff when your body goes into ketosis and all that stuff. It's very interesting. You should check it out. But anyway, it started to make sense to me. Like, of course, people are doing this to heal themselves. People are reversing type 2 diabetes. They are, killing cancer cells, like all this awesome stuff. And I had this pain in my side. I'm like, okay, if it can heal that stuff, apparently Lauren Lockman was doing like a run or something like that, and like broke his leg or got bit by a snake or something like that. And all he did was fast, and it went away in like 5 days or something like that. Completely heals bones, it's crazy the healing properties that fasting has. And that intrigued me. So I was like, I've got this pain in my side. I think it's my kidney, because I've been having these like peeing problems for like ages. I'm going to try a 21-day water fast. And I did it. And it was crazy. I just drank water, just clean, pure water. And I think it lasted exactly 21 days, because I lost, I think, just over 20 pounds in 21 days. And I was at the highest that I've ever been. So basically the reason that I had wanted to fast in the first place was twofold. Two reasons. One, I was the highest weight I'd ever been, eating fast food every day. It was disgusting. I felt nasty. I barely fit in any clothes. I felt gross going out in public. I still do, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But I just had a terrible self-image, and I was like, I would just want to lose this weight quick and get it off, and also I want to fix whatever is hurting me inside. So I did this water fast, and I had a driving job at the time. I delivered packages, and so I basically just sat all day. I didn't have to exert a lot of energy or anything. I mean, I delivered packages, but I was mostly sitting in the van the whole time. And I used to get fast food twice a day working there. It was disgusting. McDonald's in the morning, Wendy's, Burger King at night. Sometimes I'd go out 3 times. It was an addiction, and I still love fast food, but I think I've more gotten it under control now than I used to be. I still have, I still love eating out. I need to cut it back, but back then I was eating 2-3 times a day. A lot of my money was going towards that. So, anyway, I stopped cold turkey. I just drank water, and I got through the first like 2 days, and I'm like, this is crazy. Can't believe I'm doing this. I would love food right now. By the end of the first week, I had no thoughts about hunger or anything. By the end of the second week, I was like, I've done 14 days. This is insane. And then right around the 20-21 day mark, I was like, I don't know. It was more of a mental thing, I think, because I was like, I went to my girlfriend, my wife now, girlfriend at the time's parents' house. I think we were doing, I forget if it wasn't Thanksgiving. I forget. But I remember seeing people eating, and I'm like, I need to eat something. So I ate some things. It was delicious. But that ended my 21-day water fast. And I just started eating a bunch of stuff again. I never gained back up to that 220 mark again, but I did go back up to 210. And now I am getting that under control, and I'm starting fasting again, and I'm going to see where it takes me. But basically after that, and it took me a couple days to notice this, but I didn't have any pain in my side anymore. And I haven't had pain in my side since. That was over a year ago that I did that fast. And, to go from having a terrible pain in my side, like it hurt to sit in a lot of different, sometimes certain angles that I sat in would just hurt so bad. I would pee, like brown sometimes, and doctors couldn't figure it out, but it was gone. It was gone. And I was like, there's something to this fasting thing. So basically I have a new goal now, and it's awesome. And I'm really excited about this, but this channel's at least at the beginning going to follow me in my journey. Cause right now I'm around 200, 195. I'm like in between there. So I've lost, quite a bit of weight. I'm down 20 pounds since then. But I want to keep going with dry fasting, and basically what my goal is to implement dry fasting into water fasting. So I'm going to water fast for like 1 or 2 days, then dry fast for 1 or 2 days, and just kind of go based on how I feel, but really keep my insulin levels totally low. Maybe do a refeed once a week with like fish and broccoli and cauliflower or something like that. And we'll see where it goes. I'm very excited. Like I said, I'm like between 195, 200 right now. My goal is to get down to 150. That's the goal, 150. So we'll see what happens. I think I can do it. But yeah, I mean, this is in the thumbnail, but here's a graphic of me at every 10 pounds during the water fast. And you can see in I'm swallowing. You can see the creases in my back disappearing over time. So I started at 220. It was actually like 221, but I think I took that picture around 220. It was like during the first day or something. 220. And then the creases start going away a little bit, and they're almost completely gone by 200. And now I don't have them at all, which is great. But you can see the progress there, and it's crazy what water fasting can do. But just to give you a few stats about how fast this stuff works, and please do the research all on your own. I'm not saying this is perfect for everybody or anything, but you need to take a lot of things into account, I think. But overall, it's supposed to really help you physically, mentally. I had a very clear mind throughout those 21 days. But water fasting, and if you're doing this for weight loss at first, I think it's a really good way to lose weight. But you also have to kind of maintain a fasting lifestyle where you maybe eat like once a day or something, which realistically is how humans are supposed to eat. We're not supposed to be eating 3 meals a day. That's something that society has put into our minds. We're buying 3 meals a day. It's crazy. We're an obese nation for a reason. I'm not saying that 3 meals is great, but if you fast all the fat off and then just do 1 meal a day in like a small eating window, you're going to be fit as a fiddle. You know, you're going to be great. And look up videos on intermittent fasting. I want to do videos on intermittent fasting too. I think it's totally a real thing, totally good for you, totally supposed to be how humans are supposed to work in the first place. But anyway, if you want to do this to lose weight, water fasting, at least at the beginning, sorry. I lost my trail of thought for a second. Water fasting, you will lose about 1 pound a day, roughly. That's about how much I lost. And it makes sense because, you know, I water fasted for 21 days and I lost just over 20 pounds. So that makes sense. What I've noticed with dry fasting, and what anybody will tell you online, is that dry fasting, you lose about 2 pounds a day. And that's a lot, you know, and it's good. You know, I think that's good. Doctors will say that's you know, unhealthy or something. But you know, I don't know. I feel like there's something to this whole conspiracy theory that if doctors were telling us about fasting, like so many people would not need to go to the hospital anymore. The pharmaceutical industry, the hospital industry, all of that would lose so much money if more people knew about fasting. I think we've been conditioned to think that like you're supposed to eat out a lot, and then when you get fat and you get sick, then you're supposed to go to the doctor to buy drugs to fix some of those symptoms. But I think the problem is you need to get to the root cause of the problem, which is what made you sick in the first place. Well, it's eating. So what do? You stop eating. Okay. And I'm not saying cold turkey. I'm just saying stop eating when you don't need to eat. And there's so much truth to that. Go check out the Vegetable Police. Most of his stuff is like vegan / carnivore diet. He really is experimenting and he's doing great over there. He's a very funny dude. I wish I was as funny as him. And then there's Cole Robinson over at the Snake Diet. Fair warning, he swears a lot, but he tells it like it is, and I find it very refreshing. And you will learn a lot over there. If you watch just watch 2 or 3 of his videos and you will know pretty much everything there is to know about fasting. But I just wanted to let you guys know how I lost 20 pounds in 20 days. And remember, according to doctors, the safest rate to lose weight is 2 pounds per week. I'm sorry, but that's too slow for me. You know, I mean, you guys can do whatever you want, but that's too slow for me. And there's no reason you can't lose weight faster than that. 2 pounds a week in 21 days would have made me lose 6 pounds. I lost 20 pounds. Okay. So keep that in mind. It fixed my side problem. So keep that in mind as well. Give it a try. Start off slow. You know, it's not easy at first. I definitely started off with 2 days, 3 days a week. And then I went into the 21-day water fast. I don't know if I'd ever do a 21-day water fast again, just because I don't think I need to. I think I want to do it in short spurts. I want to do a couple days here, a couple days of dry fasting here, and just get the weight off. Get down to that 150 mark. And if I still have fat on my body, get down to a different mark. And I just want to be ripped. I want to be ripped. I want to feel better about myself, fit into more of my clothes that I have. And yeah, if you have any questions about fasting at all, please let me know in the comments below. Feel free to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos having to do with fasting and just overall health, because I want to build a community here where we talk about fasting and talk about what's good for you, what's bad for you, give each other advice, encourage each other, support each other. And yeah, we'll see what happens. You can reach me on Twitter at Jake Damon, DAMON. Yeah, just stick around if you want more videos like this. I want to upload maybe 2 or 3 videos a week. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll work on my humor a little bit, because I do feel like I have humor, but I also need to get used to getting on the camera. But we'll see what happens. But that is the deal, and can't wait to talk to you guys again. And I'll do more fasting related videos later. At a later time. We'll see when that is. But with that being said, it's been the Fasting Nomad. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.